Hello everybody, in this session we are going to discuss about one of the component of CPP, one of the very much important, one of the most important component among all, that is the oxygenator. So what is oxygenator? Oxygenator is a part of extracorporeal circuit where the gaseous exchange takes place between air and blood. So actually it is supplementing the function of our lungs to facilitate the bypass of lungs. So this is the basic concept of oxygenator. Now there are two types of oxygenator, membrane oxygenator and bubble oxygenator. Bubble oxygenator is a very primitive type of oxygenator where air was directly infused into blood column in form of bubbles. They are no more in clinical use. We usually in our daily practice we use membrane oxygenator and especially the false membrane oxygenator. Membrane oxygenator is of two types, true membrane and false membrane. In our routine CPP we usually use false membrane oxygenator. In cases of ECMO and some in cases of some where length of case is anticipated to be much more than 6 hours, then also we can use true membrane oxygenator, because false membrane oxygenator allows us up to 6 hours of cardiopulmonary bypass. So in this session we are going to discuss only about the bubble oxygenator. Though it is not no more in use, still questions come from there and we have to know about bubble oxygenator. In the next part we will discuss about the membrane oxygenator. So let's start bubble oxygenator. So first is the structure of bubble oxygenator. So bubble oxygenator had two chambers. First, oxygenating column or mixing chamber, and second part was called defoaming compartment. So in oxygenating column, desaturated blood or deoxygenated blood first enters here and it enters passively, where 100% oxygen across disperser plate is passed into the bloodstream in form of bubble, where 100% oxygen will pass through disperser plate into bloodstream. It will cause formation of bubble. So between gas and these air bubbles, gaseous exchange takes place. So then blood becomes oxygenated and carbon dioxide is reduced, and after that the mixture of blood and gas bubble is then passed into the defoaming compartment, where the gas bubbles were separated from the mixture. I have not written it in full sentences but just in short to just make you understand. That is blood plus gas minus gas. That is here the mixture of blood and bubble goes here, where from that mixture bubble is separated from the mixture, and how? In presence of a defoaming agent. The name of the defoaming agent was silicon antifoam A. It was usually most used defoamer, silicon antifoam A, composition of which was dimethyl polysiloxane 96% and particulate silica, which was 4%. This is the structure of bubble oxygenator. Next we will see the mechanism of action. তো এতক্ষণ আমরা কি দেখলাম না, ফার্স্ট মিক্সিং চেম্বারে ডিস্যাচুরেটেড ব্লাড যাচ্ছিল, সেখানে ডিসপারসার প্লেট থেকে ডাইরেক্টলি 100% অক্সিজেন সেই ব্লাডের মধ্যে দেওয়া হচ্ছিল ইন ফর্ম অফ বাবল। মানে ব্লাডের মধ্যে এয়ার দিলে অবভিয়াসলি বাবল ফর্ম করবে। তো বাবল আর ব্লাডের মধ্যে অক্সিজেন এক্সচেঞ্জ হচ্ছিল, অক্সিজেন এন্ড কার্বন ডাই অক্সাইড এক্সচেঞ্জ হচ্ছিল, তারপর সেটা যাচ্ছিল ডিপ ফোমিং কম্পার্টমেন্টে, যেখানে ডিপ ফোমার এজেন্ট সিলিকন অ্যান্টিফোম এর প্রেজেন্সে সেখান থেকে ব্লাড আর যে বাবলের মিক্সচার তার থেকে বাবলটা সেপারেট করা হচ্ছিল। ডিফোমার এজেন্ট অ্যাকচুয়ালি কি করে না, বাবলের সারফেস টেনশন গুলোতে চেঞ্জ এনে বাবল গুলোকে ডিস্টেবিলাইজ করে, তার ফলে বাবল ইমপ্লোড করে যায়, তো তারপর ব্লাড কলাম থেকে সেগুলো বেরিয়ে যায়। Next, what happens? Now the blood is arterialized, the blood is oxygenated, and then it is collected into the arterial reservoir, where if any bubble is remaining in the blood, that is the remnant bubbles, if any present, they will go out from the blood through the outlet, through the gas outlet. Next, how the oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange takes place between blood and gas bubble is through diffusion. Now this rate of diffusion can be calculated from the formula, that is rate of diffusion equal to J equal to minus D del P by del X, where D equals to diffusivity constant, P is the partial pressure of gas, and P is the partial pressure of gas at any particular location X. So next, the main important thing is ratio and effect of bubble size for gaseous exchange. So there are two type of bubbles formed, one is small and one is large bubbles. Small bubbles are formed in larger in number and large bubbles are formed in smaller in number. So many small bubbles in a fixed column, many small bubbles in a fixed column, what their job was, they provide larger surface area, and larger surface area means efficient O2 transfer and poor CO2 transfer. That means they were supplying oxygen to the blood, whereas small number of large bubbles in a fixed column, what they were doing, they were providing a small surface area, and that was causing improved CO2 transfer, that is CO2 from blood to the air bubbles, CO2 was transferred, and poor O2 transfer from air to the blood. Many small bubble in a fixed column, larger surface area and efficient O2 transfer from air bubble into blood, and poor CO2 transfer from blood into air bubble, and small number of large bubble means small surface area, improved CO2 transfer from blood into the air bubbles, and poor O2 transfer from air bubble into the blood. This is the mechanism of bubble oxygenator. Now pressure drop through bubble oxygenator was less than 30 cm of H2O, 30 cm of water, near around 25 to 28. So less than 30 cm of water. Now we will see the advantages and disadvantages. Lastly, advantages and disadvantages of bubble oxygenator. So first, advantages of bubble oxygenator are: first, easy to assemble. They were easy to assemble, relatively small priming volume, they allow defoaming of frothy blood, low cost and reduced pressure drop, less than 30 cm of water column. I have mentioned it earlier, reduced pressure drop through oxygenator, because probably in case of bubble oxygenator, the blood pump was attached to the circuit after the oxygenator, whereas in case of membrane oxygenator we connect blood pump before oxygenator, but in case of bubble oxygenator blood pump was connected after the bubble oxygenator. Now disadvantages: firstly, it is non-physiologic. Obviously in our normal physiology blood never comes in direct contact with air for gaseous exchange. Next is high risk of embolization, obviously because the bubbles were introduced directly into the blood and risk of air embolization was high. Blood cell trauma again due to direct air blood contact and destruction of plasma protein for the same reason. Next, defoaming column that consists of silicon antifoam that does not function for long time, and in the bubble oximeter removal of CO2 couldn't be controlled, so excessive CO2 removal causing problem in hypothermic bypass. So because of high risk of embolization, because of they could not support long time CPB and they could not support hypothermic cardiopulmonary bypass, they were obsoleted and are not in use in modern practice. In the next part, in the next class, we will discuss about the main thing, the membrane oxygenator in details. So this is all for the session. Thank you. Goodbye and stay happy.